boys and girls. Mrs. Ice here. I'm going to go over what you're expected to do today in your writing. It was really great to read about the habitats that you guys chose for your animal. You need to try to remember what animal you chose last week and do the same animal this week. We'd like you to do the same animal throughout this entire project. Please do not be switching animals. So a big thing, let's go over our goals today. It says, today I will, 1, learn the meaning of the word diet. 2, find and write the diet of my animal. 3, write what my animal eats. 4, go back and check my writing. So these are your goals today. If you forget, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, watch this video, read those goals, and you'll remember. Awesome. So let's go through our slides. What an animal eats is called their diet. And I'm going to fix that real quick because that should say eats. What an animal eats is called their diet. So we actually have diets because we eat certain things. So some animals eat grass, some eat meat, some eat plants, and some eat bugs. So all those different things are part of an animal's diet. Okay, so that's that big vocabulary word. You're going to watch this video, what is a diet? So please watch that. There are 3 big words you're going to learn from that. And then there's another video that kind of talks about it as well. So let's head on down to here. The 3 types of diets are herbivore, omnivore, and carnivore. Herbivores are animals that eat only plants. They only eat plants, okay? And omnivore are animals that eat plants and meat. And a carnivore are animals that only eat meat. So humans are omnivores because we eat plants and meat. We eat salad, but we also might eat a big, juicy cheeseburger, okay? So you're going to find out what your animal eats, okay? So let's head on down. Right here, you have all the animals that you were allowed to choose from. You could only choose from these animals. Now, our Arctic fox is not on here, so I'm going to click one of these animals and then go find our Arctic fox because we were researching that last week. You are not allowed to research that. So say you are researching the American flamingo. When you click that picture, this at the bottom is going to pop up. You want to click that picture and look what pops up. How awesome, okay? So I'm actually going to click the animal button and get to the Arctic fox, but yours will pop up whatever animal you picked, okay? So you can only pick from that list, please, okay? All right, so when you're on your animal, which me and Mrs. Smith are going to be researching the Arctic fox, you're going to come down here and it says food. Guess what? Look at that big vocab word right there. I'm going to circle it just for you guys. Look. What is that? An Arctic fox is an omnivore. Say it with me. Omnivore. That means it eats plants, which you can see the apple is a plant, but it also eats meat. I'm going to try to remember that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip this card. See how the arrow's there? If this eraser, there we go. We're going to erase this real quick. Okay. Here we go. Awesome. That. So it says Arctic foxes are hunters and scavengers. They eat practically anything. But we're going to be a little bit more specific. I want you guys to be specific in you saying what they eat, okay? So you have to say, are they a herbivore, omnivore, or carnivore? Ours is an omnivore. But it says in some places they eat mostly rodents called lemmings. So a rodent is like a rat or a mouse, but they eat lemmings. The seal scraps that a polar bear leaves behind can make a meal for a hungry Arctic fox. So they also eat seal scraps. But I'm just going to pick one of those. You don't have to write about both, but you can. Okay. So this arrow kind of flips it back over and tells us that they're an omnivore. Okay. And then you flip it over and you can see specifically what they eat. They eat lemmings. Okay. So we're going to go write about the Arctic fox right now. Okay. So you're going to go to your diet slide. And you click here. You need to tell me what animal you're researching, okay? So the blank is a blank, okay? I'm researching an Arctic fox. The Arctic fox, and I'm going to click over here, is a omnivore, and I'm going to type that, okay? And then I got to say what the Arctic fox eats, and I want to use really good sentence structures. Who and what they eat, okay? So I'm going to write the Arctic fox eats. I'm going to go, if I forget, I can go back to that slide. Oh, it's called a lemming. They eat lemmings. I'm going to go back up here. It brings my thing right back up. I'm going to type the Arctic fox eats lemmings. Perfect. So now we're not done. We get to go check our writing. Go back to the diet slide and use the rubric below to check your writing before turning in. This is very important. And remember, you need to be using the San Diego Zoo website to get your information about your animal, okay? Remember, omnivore, herbivore, or carnivore. And we check that, okay? So here we go. I need to look for spaces. Is it on the line? Is it neat? Is there punctuation, capitals, and like capitals and periods and all that stuff? Does it have details and does it make sense? So let's go read my stuff. It says diet at the top. The Arctic fox is an omnivore. Capital, period, great. Does it make sense? Yeah, great. Let's read our next sentence. The Arctic fox eats lemmings. I see a problem. Do you? I have a capital, but what am I missing? A period. Right, so I'm going to put a period right there, okay? It's on the lines. It's neat. I have details. It makes sense. I had to check all those things. Great job. Now is that fun part where if you want to add a picture, you can, okay? But they need to be appropriate. We've been talking about that. They need to be appropriate for school. If it's not, your teacher's going to delete it, okay? So let's go up here. You see this little mountain? It says insert image. So you're going to click that button. And then there's a magnifying glass, and you're going to click that magnifying glass. I'm going to move my picture real quick. Okay, then you're going to click here, search for images. Biggest thing is you can look for a picture of what your animal eats. So I'm going to look up what a lemming is. And, oh, it does look like a little rat. It's like a little rodent. So I like this picture. It looks appropriate. There's no blood. There's no gore. It's really easy. I'm going to insert. See this blue button down here? It says insert. So I click the picture and then I click insert. And then this perfect little picture pops up. That's what an Arctic fox eats. Okay. And so then now whoever's reading my slide knows that a lemming looks like that. Perfect. Okay. So then down here it says, how will I be graded? To earn an M, you'll write a sentence stating the animal's diet. Is it an herbivore, carnivore, or an omnivore? It must be correct from the website, not just a guess. Okay? And you need to write a sentence about the diet. So, for example, a penguin eats fish and krill. Very simple. Okay? To earn a P, maybe you only write the animal's name and you only write the one word for the diet and you don't give an extra sentence about the diet. So, if you have nothing on the slide, you're going to be returned your work and asked to fill it out, please. So don't forget that. Also, you're going to be graded on your punctuation. Your sentences need to make sense. Capital letters are in the correct places and periods are in the correct places. You'll receive a P if your sentence makes some sense. If you're missing a few capitals, you're missing a few periods and have some. So just make sure, guys, that you're checking your work. I showed you how to get to your animals' diet, and we're excited to read your work today. So have fun learning about your animal and what their diet is.